Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode. Oh, gosh, I just
You
tripped
got
over my
excited.
lips. Another episode of I Live for This podcast with me, Trinity the Tuck.
And Shontelle sparkles.
And somewhere running around here is my little cat. She just had surgery, so I'm trying to keep an eye on her. So if you see me
Poor baby.
looking away, that's what I'm doing. So we have some really interesting topics to talk about today. So before we do that, I want to start with our infamous new game called Battle of the Bestie.
I almost forgot too. I was like, oh, okay, getting out of it.
No, I totally forgot. So I've got to make up these questions right off the
You
bat.
forgot.
Yeah, because girl, I was picking up my cat. I totally forgot.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, well then I'll start with one question, then that'll give you time to think about something.
Yes.
So for the first question, I wrote a couple just because I wanted to see like the vibe of where we were going, just in case I didn't ask you about like somebody's dead aunt or something, and you'd be
Oh
like,
my
what?
God.
Kill the mood, bitch. No, so the first question is I like witches, right?
Uh-huh.
So what is my favorite element out of earth, air, fire, or water?
Earth, air, fire, or water? Oh gosh. I'm gonna say Earth.
Really?
I only say I don't know what is your favorite
But
witch
like talk about earth and why you would think it.
because you for your opening of EOY, your costume was crystals and things. So
Mm.
that gives me very Earth.
Mm.
Um, but but then again, you love Ariel, so you could love water.
Maybe, but your first one was wrong.
Okay, well, fuck. What is it?
No, the second one was right. I love water.
Yeah.
I always like if when I'm in a video game or like
Ow!
in a movie.
She just fucking bit the shit out of me. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna put her down. Look at her.
Oh, you're so cute.
Oh, she's
She's
like,
so cute.
she's not having it, girl. She's over it. She had her insides chopped
Torn
up.
out.
Yeah. Okay, so my first question to you is how many siblings do I have? This includes half siblings.
Oh my God.
Um, yeah,
Well, I know you had Ginger.
okay. You're not gonna know the names of the other ones because we've never really
No, no,
talked.
no, I know. I would say I'm just gonna throw a number out because I don't know. Anytime you say you're visiting family, that's really all you say.
Uh-huh.
So I would say four.
Nope,
How many?
five.
I was close.
I have three sisters, but two of them are so all of my siblings are half siblings.
Okay.
I don't have a solid sibling. What the hell is she doing? Um, so I have two sisters on my dad's side and one little brother on my dad's side and one little brother on my mom's side. So technically, I'm the oldest out of my actual siblings. But then
Okay.
I was raised by my grandparents with my first cousin, Ginger, who's not actually my sister. She's
Mm.
my first cousin, but I consider her my sister and I'm closest to her.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
Well,
we
I
were
was
raised
close.
together. Yeah, we were raised together. Yeah, yeah. You
Next
did pretty good.
question I will ask is how far
I think you could do the whole up to the elbow.
I was thinking the knee. No, how far would I make it in a horror movie?
Oh, well, as long as you don't have coffee or Mexican right before
Like I did this episode.
hello to be
I was
let
just texting her saying that.
yeah. Um where you weren't farting everywhere to let them know where you're at. I think you would make it pretty far.
Why?
You like horror movies, you play horror games. And so I think because of your experience, you would do good. I think you would do good.
Do you think that you would win or like
Oh,
survive?
absolutely. I would do better.
Why?
I would do better than you.
Tell me why.
I unlike you, I am very aware. of my surroundings at all time.
I am too.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am, bitch.
Sometimes you just be getting out of your car and you just be like, whatever, and
Girl.
peek around and stab you. But hold on. Hey, no, ma'am. I don't know what she's doing over there. She's being a bad girl. But I would totally. I would be final girl. You would be the one to like fall while you're running.
I would be, you know, in like I feel like since you said final girl, I would probably be like Brandy and I Know What You Did Last Summer, where she was like best friends with what's her name? The girl that played I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yes, I would be Brandy and you would be Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah.
Because Brandy still is the best friend that lives throughout multiple the movies, and they're getting ready to do a reboot and they're talking about bringing her back. So I would live, but I wouldn't be the final girl.
I would live for this.
Yes, I live for that.
But that wasn't a good question because you were just asking my opinion. That wasn't like a do I know something
Yeah,
about.
but I still think it's kind of cute to ask those questions. I think they're funny.
Okay, all right. Well, let me think of another one.
Okay.
Okay, this is a good one.
Okay.
How many major awards, not pageantry awards, major awards do I have that are mainstream?
I'm gonna say a number again just because I don't know.
Yeah.
I would say 6.
Damn, you went up there, honey. Major awards, I have 3. I have a People's Choice Award, I have a MTV Movie Award, and an MTV Music Award. So I
What
have
is the movie award?
the popcorn, and then I have a Moon Man from MTV, and then I have the People's Choice Award.
Well,
But
yeah,
I
girl.
also
I want to know, but why did you get it? Like, what is the movie award?
oh, what did I get? So the Moon Man was for being in Taylor Swift's music video.
Oh, okay.
And the popcorn was for Drag Race All Stars 7, and as well as the People's Choice Award. I also have a reality TV award from All Stars 4 for fan favorite.
Fierce. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then I have a NASDAQ it's not an award, but it's like a trophy kind of thing for ringing in the NASDAQ bell on Wall Street. What are you doing? Hey!
She's trying to be a part of this moment.
No, she's like throwing herself on the hold on, she's throwing herself on the wall.
The fuck?
No, come here. Stop it.
Animal abuse children.
No, I didn't abuse her. My office door is glass, so you can see through it. And she was trying to get out, and she was like throwing herself up against the thing. I'm like, oh my God. Plus, she's like medicated, so I'm like, what is happening? My pussy is literally deranged right now.
Girl, Vanessa just texted me.
Vanessa.
DeMornay.
Oh.
Girl, she wanted to rent pieces of hair from me for the opening.
What, girl? For the price that it would cost to rent, you could just buy it.
Right, girl, just buy a wig. Like,
no.
You ain't got to pay for shipping. Anyway, next.
Hey, Trin, sorry. Can you just adjust your camera a little bit? Because it moved when you sat back down. There we go. Okay.
Okay,
Thanks.
good. Okay, wonderful.
Next question
yeah,
is...
your next question, your last question.
What is my hidden talent besides drag? And it's not sucking dick.
Hidden talent besides drag. Oh, well, you can sing.
Okay, what else?
You dive. I don't know if
That's not a talent, bitch.
I don't know. Can you put your legs above your head? What is your talent?
Just producing music.
Oh, well, I mean, that's all to do with music. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you know.
What a lot of people don't know about you is that you have some major dance hits that were huge in South America from years ago, out of drag. And what was you had a group. It was you and a girl. What was the group?
So I was a part of different groups. Like first it was just my name, Sean Davis, and then I worked with another group called Lucid Blue, and it was me and my bestie Serenity, which she's sung on like tracks for like Armin van Buuren, Tiesto, I think, or Paul Van Dyke. Anyway, we were part of that group and we did a couple tracks that were like pretty big hits. I wouldn't say like, you know, huge bangers, but they were out there. Yeah.
Yeah, in majorly in South America, right?
Yeah.
That's fierce. Where
In
can
Brazil.
that?
Huh?
Like if they wanted to find your old
Oh, you
music.
could just if you wanted to look up. Okay, so one of the big song that blew up that was huge in Brazil, still people talk about it, is it's called Sacrifice with Sean Davis and Serenity featuring the something twins, I believe. I can't remember the producer's name. I'm sorry. That's really bad. But just look up Sacrifice with Serenity and Sean Davis on all streaming platforms and you can listen to it.
Okay. And we a lot of people don't know this is we started a drag group a long time ago before Drag Race called
Well,
Lahore.
yes, and I had talked you into it. You were like, "Girl, I don't sing. What the fuck?"
Yeah, you had talked me into it, and it was a parody group. So we did one song called Schlong, which was a parody of Applause by Lady Gaga.
And we
Then
thought of that while we were on tour with Andy Bell. We were writing
yeah,
the lyrics.
yeah, we were on tour in California driving from one end to the other.
Yep.
Then the second song that we did was called Shitting Myself, which was
A
a
parody of Bleeding Love
Leading Love. Yes, I
by
still remember.
Leona Lewis.
I keep shitting
And
my
we did that cover to, or we did that parody with Misty Eyes, which Misty
Missy
is
Eye.
fierce.
Yes. Yeah, we were gonna
I
do a
don't know if
music.
she does drag anymore though.
I don't know. I
I
don't
wonder
know.
where she's at.
I don't know. Misty Eyes, if you're out there and you listen to this, you tell us, sweetie.
Yes.
You
And
tell
find that song and send it to us because I can't find it anywhere in the archives.
Okay, so my last question for you would be, out of all genres of movies, what is my favorite genre of movie? It's very specific. It's like
Sci-fi.
it's like a subcategory of a genre.
Uh Suspense sci-fi.
No,
What is it?
zombies.
Yeah, sci-fi is aliens. I knew you liked zombies, I guess, but
No.
girl, I don't know where I thought of that. I pulled that shit out of my
This
ass.
week, this week we really bombed our
We
bestie
did not do our homework.
battle of the besties, bitch. Neither one of us knew any of them, honey. None.
Girl, failed.
Not
F's.
one. F's across the board. Well, let's get into these categories, bitch. We have a lot of topics to go over. The first one is it going to be a fem top fall or a verse bottom autumn? And so this is like something that's like going around social media that people are arguing about or debating about if it's a fem top fall or a verse autumn, verse bottom autumn. And so for those listeners out there that don't know what a fem top is, it is a top that if you like were to look at them, they probably would appear to be a bottom, but they're
A
not.
purse would fall out of their mouth.
Yes, honey. And then a verse bottom is obviously a bottom who will top sometimes.
Well, yeah, I guess.
If they're, if they're put in a position where they have to.
Yeah. I feel like when people say first bottom, they're usually like, listen, I'll do both, but I bottom more. You know
Well,
what I
yeah,
mean?
that's what it is, a verse bottom.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
guess. I hate when people do all them different. There's so many different things to talk about with that.
Mm-hmm. So with that being said, they were arguing that femtop fall sounds more appropriate than verse bottom autumn because no, I'm sorry, the other way around. They were saying verse bottom autumn sounds more appropriate because a verse bottom is also known as a trouser, and a fem top is known as a blouse, and a blouse seems more springtime, and a trouser seems more like fall. So
Girl, that has wrapped around my mind and I'm lost. I'm like in
if
Tammy's
you were
house.
to pick, which one would you rather it be? A
Are
verse
you
bottom.
talking about like what I would prefer to be myself, or are you just saying what we should call it?
What should we call it?
I think that we should call it um not Femtop Fall. What's the other one?
Verse bottom autumn.
I feel like we should call it Verse Bottom Autumn.
Is that because you're going to be a verse bottom, or you want your bottom?
I think it rings better.
Okay, all
Verse
right.
Bottom Autumn. Femtop Fall just sounds like you're just throwing words out. What do you think?
I like both.
Yeah,
I
but we're talking about which one we
I
like.
love a good fem top. I do love a good fem top. And I also like when a bottom is verse.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sitting here saying that I don't like a femtop. I'm talking about the name itself. If we're gonna talk, we're gonna call it that. I love a femtop, bitch, because you know what? Them people that are femtops, they comfortable with their sexualities, they comfortable with how they are as a person in general, and they are willing to rearrange them motherfucking guts
Uh-huh. With some lashes and nails on,
and
honey.
paint your nails on while you're doing it.
Girl, hello. Just just slamming it to you, calling you sweetie,
They'll
honey.
be fucking you and they'll be telling you, girl, your legs aren't high enough.
Girl,
Like they have been
girl,
fucked.
flip
They know
over.
right. They have done it enough times to where when they're doing it, they know how to make the bottom enjoy it more because they're like, oh no,
Miss
you
Girl,
literally.
take it. Miss
Yeah.
Girl.
So that's why I mean I do love a good old femme top because they've walked our shoes before.
They're probably wearing the heels while they top you,
They've
sweetie.
worn our shoe.
So the speaking of gay sex, the five most popular cruising spots. And again, for those who don't know what cruising is, before there was like social media and Grinder and Sniffies and all those things, there in Craigslist, there was cruising spots. So like you had to go actually out in these spaces and find like
Hookups.
someone to hook up with. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the five um best hookup spots, cruising spots are in an like a I'm just gonna go to the article because I don't want to mess it up. It's in order. There's five of them.
Please
And
tell me because I don't even know this. I want to know.
number five is universities. All those
Uni-
hot hung college
yeah,
men.
but like where?
Just college is a it says a college is a place for exploring and experimenting and cruising.
There's
Um
got to be a place though where they go.
University, well, girl, you got to think the fantasy, girl. University's all about like you have in a classroom that's vacant,
Oh,
honey, the
bitch.
stairway, honey, the broom closet, honey.
Yes, pull
University,
out a ruler, bitch.
you go to a dormitory. They got those bunk beds, bitch. You could take the top or the
You
bottom
might even
bunk.
get fucked by your college professor
Girl, hello,
and get an A.
extra credit, bitch.
Yes, honey, you passed the class.
Yes. So that's number five. Number four is the gym. Hot and
Which is,
sweaty.
I mean, that's definitely a
Yeah,
gimme.
that's risky though, because there's so many people at the gym, but
I
heck,
fucked all the time at the gym when I was with my ex.
you did?
Oh, girl, it was the best place.
Oh my
And we
gosh.
would make noises on purpose just to see if we would
No.
get people that would cruise. It never happened, but it
Oh
was
wow.
fun.
Wow, you whore. I mean, I knew you were a
Girl,
whore.
live a little.
Live a little. Girl, she definitely got that membership for the gym just for that. There
Listen,
was no lifting weights, bitch.
listen, bitch, you know me. I'm very private with how my life is, but I'm a freak.
Uh-huh, girl. She was doing the squats. Almost
I live.
for this. So number three is residential buildings.
Like what?
Like public spaces are a little too public, then you go to like a residential tower, like an apartment building. Again, you have like the stairway, maybe the lobby
Girl,
somewhere,
I will tell you some tea.
rooftop.
My roommate, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to like release anything without his consent. But girl, she used it's well, it's a he. He used to hook up with people, but he wouldn't bring them inside of our apartment. So when he would hook up with them at night, he would fuck them on the air conditioning vent outside the apartment.
What?
Girl,
Where
he
was
would
that?
I in Louisville.
In Louisville.
Yeah, at what was it?
I'm trying to think of your roommate.
The Breckenridge Apartments. Don't be saying nobody's name because I don't want
I
to.
don't remember you having a roommate.
Girl, I've always had roommates.
Oh, wait.
You might honestly, I think you have even done stuff with them.
Have I?
Maybe, or you've exchanged photos at least.
Probably that for sure.
You
Who
always exchanging photos. You're like, bitch, I want to see the goods
Bro,
before I
I
even
am
show.
not. I am proud, honey. They don't call me the Tuck for no reason, sweet. So the next number 2 of the cruising spots is public restrooms. And that's a given. Most people know that that is like one of the cruising spots. They make fun of it in a lot of movies, all that kind of stuff. So that is definitely number 2. And then the number 1 most popular cruising spots is in parks.
Parks. I love a good old glory hole.
Well, that would be in the restroom, honey, not the parks, honey.
Yeah,
The
but I just
parks, you're gonna
girl.
be on the bench. You're gonna be in the bushes, bitch. Up
There's
a
a place
tree.
in Louisville from what Callie had told me. Calvin,
Yes.
there's a park. I think it's not it might be Iroquois Park, but there was a specific park where people would go and meet out in the trees and they would fuck out in the trees all the time.
Yeah, getting you
It
some
was a
bush in the bushes, honey.
yep. It was a huge hookup site. So I believe it. The parks are definitely where it's at.
Yep. Parks and recreation, honey, not the show.
Oh my gosh.
So our next topic is where is this at? Interesting. Okay, so there's an anti-LGBTQ plus activist named Corey D. Angelis, and he's like all over Fox News and stuff like that. And allegedly, this is allegedly.
Yeah, which I don't get this because it's like, how do you know? It's either you know or you don't.
Well, I think they say allegedly for legal purposes, so you
Mm.
don't get sued.
But it's
But
like, what if you did it? You did it.
allegedly, he's like very anti-gay, but he has starred in gay porn. And I'm about to tell y'all his
Seth, isn't it Seth something?
alleged porn name is Seth Rose.
Seth Rose. And when
And
you look at the picture of him, he looks like he would be doing porn.
oh yes, girl. Yes.
And
And
usually those evangelists, whatever people, the people that are super against everybody and
uh-huh.
quick to point their fingers, those are the ones that have their hands dirty.
Well, apparently, since this article came out, he has been off of social media because I think he's like embarrassed. But my question is like, why on earth would you think if you've taken part in something like that, would you think that would not come out? Like you're being anti-queer. Of course, people are going to recognize you. If you draw attention to being anti-gay and you did something gay, the gay people are gonna know. They're gonna know.
Right.
We watch porn, sweetie.
Bitch, we are Nancy Drew. We will dig up every motherfucking thing.
Yes, girl. So you shouldn't have done Miss Seth Rosebud, honey. If you were
Not
gonna
Seth Rosebud.
if you were gonna be anti-gay, you should have never done the gay, honey.
He's probably leaving social media because he don't want that Rosebud to be exposed.
Girl, it's probably everywhere. If anybody
Girl,
has seen it in the comments, let us know. Is it pretty?
if it's pretty, I want to see it. If it's a Rosebud,
Yes.
keep it away.
Mm. Uh, Speaking of Rosebud, are you wanting up here?
Oh,
I don't know. She's acting nuts. I don't know. You
so
hear
cute.
some kitty AMSR?
Miss Kitty Scott Claus.
You hear her?
No, bitch.
Purring. Um, so Jackass star Steve O.
I read this and I thought this was really weird.
Yeah, he was planning on getting breast implants as a joke. And he cancels his surgery after talking to a trans shop worker. And what's interesting about the article is that like as much as he's been in Hollywood, he's never like really interacted with a trans person, he said. And it wasn't until he had a conversation with the trans woman that he changed his mind on getting the surgery because he didn't want to lean into those tropes about like being the straight guy who makes fun of basically trans women, because even though that may not be his purpose of getting that, it kind of does lean into those tropes. And bravo to him for learning something new and changing his way of that, even if that's not what he was meaning to do. He's girl, she is flipping out over here, honey.
I will say that I appreciate him being open into like learning and being aware
Yeah,
of like how society is and stuff and how much privilege he has.
yeah.
But I will say that I want to know how he addressed this person and talk to them. Because like for you to just be like, you're trans, I want to talk to you. Because sometimes that could be rude to be like assuming someone's gender or asking someone trans, because like asking someone and having that conversation in public could also make someone feel very, very uncomfortable to the point where like you could be outing them and putting them in danger.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if
It's just ways you got to think of these different avenues and ways of how the situation really came
yeah,
about.
I'm right there with you. I'm curious on how the conversation got started, because
Right.
if it was something respectful, I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm not a trans woman, but as a person who falls under the trans umbrella, I've always said that I was an in-between before this non-binary thing became really popular.
Mhm.
And if somebody was to want to have a conversation about drag, about being queer, about um sexuality or gender in general, as long as they approached me with respect, I'd be open to that. I
Let's
think
put
that's
it
the
in this
only
way.
way we're going to get people to learn and grow and change
Is
is
to
if
being
we,
open.
yeah, is to have these kind of conversations. And
Yeah,
so,
and I'm down for it.
yeah, as long as he approached her respectfully.
I will
Res-
say, putting myself in a similar situation, I'm not trans, but I am gay, and I remember growing up in high school and you know having to work at different jobs as a teenager, and before back in the day, it wasn't cool to be gay.
yeah,
So now it's like everybody is either non-binary, something up on the spectrum.
yeah,
But you know, it was always so weird for someone to be like asking me in public, "Are you gay?" And then me having to answer and then them asking me questions about it and like what it's like, because like one, I wasn't fully out, or two, if I was, it was just an uncomfortable position to put myself in because of the surroundings I was in. So that's why I asked that question, because it's great that he is obviously canceling the surgery, because that's just fucking stupid. I understand he is stupid in general, which is funny,
yeah,
but girl, there has to be some kind of extreme moment where you need to stop, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. And also, like, what surgeon would agree to that? Like, if somebody's gonna do a surgery like that on someone, like an elective surgery,
You get
knowing
your license revoked.
that it's something stupid, they should not be able to do surgeries like that. Like that's
Right.
something. Yeah. Anyway, um, on a way, way more serious note, and I don't talk about this lightly. I'm bringing this up because I don't see a lot of people talking about it, or specifically drag race girls talking about it. I am not going to um this is it's just a very sensitive topic. So we all have seen the articles of Shangela facing sexual assault allegations. And up until this point, I think there's now 6 people that have came forward with allegations. There's one recently that just came forward. His name's Dakota Payne. I actually know him. He's a drag artist, a singer. I think also an adult star. Used to be.
Mhm.
He's been in one of my music videos, or 2 of my
Oh,
music
cute.
videos actually now. My Femboys, and then my Miss Jesus Christ. Very sweet. I don't know him that well, but I find this with 6 people coming forward with very similar stories. it's hard to turn a cheek to that
Yeah.
when all the stories are so similar. Um, I and this is all alleged because there's not been a full case go through court with this, and
Mhm.
this is not me like trying to shit on Shangela or anything like that. It's not really for me to judge. I'm not God, and I'm also not a judge in this case. Um, I just find this hard to ignore.
It's definitely
And
something that makes me uncomfortable because of, my situation growing up too, like
yeah,
sexually abused, and it's just it's a hard situation. It makes you feel uncomfortable for these
yeah. I
people.
mean, and it is uncomfortable because Shangela is somebody that used to be and still is by many very beloved and has had such an impact in this in pop culture, not just
Yeah.
Drag Race. She was in finals for Dancing with the Stars.
Mhm.
She's had Emmys with We're Here.
Yep.
So she's a super star.
I
Like
mean,
movies and TV shows and traveled the world over and over and over and over and over. So my
I'm not like defending this,
yeah,
but I will say that like when she flew me out years ago to do her hair and makeup, or I think it was just her hair, I can't remember. She had me dress her. It was before she was working with Six, I believe.
uh-huh.
And she had me do her hair and stuff for the morning channel and a couple other things. And after we got done doing stuff, we went out and partied and we got
Mhm.
super drunk. And I didn't notice anything the way that she acted.
Now, again, I'm not judge, jury, or executioner. I'm not placing blame on anyone. I do feel like, though, with 6 allegations of similar stories, we do have to take that into consideration for sure.
You definitely have to play devil's advocate too. I mean, if we're not judged, but if you are playing devil's advocate, I will say that it's always people that are the ones you never expect,
Yeah,
ever.
yeah. I my point of even bringing this up is that drag and the way we used to be able to behave as a culture has changed. You can't be so crass. I'm even guilty. All drag queens are guilty of being very
Touchy feely or like, oh girl, you're hot, or boy, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
yeah, and like trying to take a shirt off of a hot guy or stuff like the culture has changed. You can't do that anymore. And
Yeah,
I have totally changed everything with the way that I used to do. I do not be doing all that like taking shirts off of people and all that kind of stuff anymore. You just can't.
right.
Consent is super important, and I would never want somebody to um feel like they were pressured into something or done wrong or something else, because anytime I've ever done anything like taking a shirt off, it was all in like good fun and humor and stuff like that. But the reality is that people should consent to that,
Yeah.
period. Some people are
It just
open.
kind of sucks that like our industry has changed so much because of being mainstream.
I don't think it sucks. I think that it's made us more aware of um what happens in the real world, and
Yeah.
it makes boundaries real, and boundaries should be real.
Yeah. I mean
And
that I totally agree on that.
and so I think in this case, um she needs to she I would encourage her to speak up in about why are so many people coming forward about their own personal experiences, and they're all very similar.
Do you think that like if she does speak on it, because I know you've always told me too, sometimes like speaking on stuff um makes it worse, but
I think that
do you think she
this
do you
is
think she
not
really
just
needs to?
this isn't just drag drama. This is like something very serious. It's not just drag drama. It's like people will try to cancel you left and right all the time. That's just part
all
of
the time.
celebrity. Like, you know, people have tried to cancel me 42,000 times. This is beyond that. This is something so serious. I mean, like, look at what's going on with Diddy and all these other celebrities, and all of these other people in power. You can never use your power in this way. And it's just very unfortunate. It's unfortunate specifically for victims. It's also terrible for her because, like, you know, this definitely ruined her career, regardless if it's true or not.
Yeah,
Like,
because people could be just coming out and jumping on the bandwagon, like, you know how people are.
I mean, I do think that people do that. I'm not negating that at all. People do that,
They
but then
do. When they see
then you
one
also have
opportunity,
predators.
they jump on another and they
But
jump
then
and
you
they
also have
piggyback.
predators, like real predators. Like, look at Cherry Pie. Like, she admitted to all of that. She finally
Yeah.
admitted to all of it. So, like, there are predators out there amongst us, and
Trust
and
me, I know.
and so it's just very overwhelming and unfortunate. And my thoughts are with true victims of sexual assault, because I
It's
can only,
not easy. It literally sticks with you forever. Like
I,
even when you talk to somebody, it still sticks in the back of your head. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And it affects everything around you. It affects your sex life, it affects your dating life, it affects your family life, it affects the way that you think, the way that you talk to people. Um when it happened to me as a teenager, all throughout my teenage years, I went and had a therapist talk to me. And it does help to talk to people, especially people that don't know you, and you feel like you might think that talking to someone that don't know you or hasn't been in your situation is like why they don't care, but it
yeah.
does help. But
Mm.
it's just one of them things where like it will always be there for you, or it will always be in your mind, I should say, and affect
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it's very unfortunate.
It's
Uh,
crippling.
Well, I want to go more of into a positive topic, because I know that was really dark, but I do feel like nobody's really talked about that, and it needs to be brought up. And I hope, for everyone's sake, that um, people that are innocent get justice in these types of situations.
Yeah.
Moving on to another topic. Um, let's read an Am I the Asshole? Um, and this is from Reddit. And that I'm just gonna read it. I haven't read it yet, so we're hearing this for the first time. We're gonna decide if they're an asshole. The other day, my friends and I were watching a TV show called Silicon Valley. Oh my gosh, sounds like a show of my life, Silicon Valley. Two of the people in our group are gay. Essentially, there's this gay guy in one of the episodes who is a tech CEO. He is gay and a Christian. I won't get too much into the episode, but one of the main characters, Richard, tells him, you know, you could be a twink, a bear, an otter, a circuit queen, a chub, a pup, a gibster, which I don't know what that is, a
I've never
daddy
heard of that either.
chaser, a leather man, a ladyboy. You could be a Donald Duck, which is a gay guy who got kicked out of the Navy. I've never heard of that.
I've never
Both
heard that
the gay
either.
guys in our group start laughing pretty heavily. Over the weekend, both my friends went to a Pride festival and posted it on Instagram. To this, I commented exactly what Richard said on one of their posts. My friend who posted it liked my comment, along with a dozen other people. The problem arose when someone in our group who isn't gay messaged me privately asking me to remove my comment. He claimed that my friend would be offended by it. I then replied that he didn't seem bothered by it and even liked my comment. However, the same friend kept telling me that our gay friend would never directly tell us, so I should delete it. Now I am unsure if my comment was actually offensive or not. Am I the asshole? I'm going to give my perspective on this and then obviously tell yours.
Yeah.
I think with any kind of situation like this, regardless if it's to do with gay or anything like that, everyone needs to start giving people a little bit more grace. I feel like everybody gets so offended so easily over the
Quick to cut
smallest.
you off.
Yeah, the smallest thing. The smallest thing. Yes, we should be offended by things that matter. And the biggest thing, and I say this all the time, intent matters. Did somebody intend to offend you? Or was it something innocent or ignorant that they didn't realize how it came across? Because
Right.
if somebody said something as a joke and they didn't mean to offend, then give them a little grace, honey. Like,
And just tell them like, hey, that was uncomfortable.
yeah,
And then move on.
yeah, but if they intended, and you can usually tell if somebody intended to be offensive.
Yeah, because you can
That's
tell
when
the
you
shade.
have a deeper conversation. But if somebody didn't intend, then no, you're not the asshole. You made a joke. In this instance, I don't think he's an asshole because he was making a joke of a reference from a show they all watched together. That would be like us watching Mean Girls and me posting a Mean Girls quote on one of your things. Like we do
Yeah.
stuff all the time. Another thing that this brings me back to is this whole thing of like cultural appropriation or queer appropriation or queer baiting or whatnot. I feel like unless you are that demographic of person, you should not have a say. And for instance, like a lot of like cultural appropriation stuff that I've seen online of people, it's usually not the culture, the people of that culture
Oh, yeah.
making remarks about it. It's always the white
People pointing their fingers saying, no, no, no,
no,
no,
no, no,
no.
no, you can't do this. And rather than somebody of that culture, which generally appreciate that because there is something called cultural appreciation where you celebrate cultures and cultures are meant to be
There was a
shared.
whole documentary I watched on this person that went to China, I think it was, or Japan or whatever, and lived in their culture, wore their clothes, dressed like them, and did interviews with people. And all of the people over there said, we appreciate you doing that because you're
Yeah.
showing our culture and making it more aware and letting people know that it's still like talked about. And you know what I mean? It's just appreciation.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think in situations like this, you always have to look at intent. And the guy who mentioned this to his friend, girl, shut up. You ain't gay.
Being just
The gay
petty.
guys in the group didn't say nothing to their friend. They liked the comment. Move on. It's
Being
not
Petty
for
Murphy, bitch.
it's not for you, sweetie. It's not for you.
Patty LaBelle.
Yeah. Um, so our next topic is weird deaths.
I read this and I was like, what is going on? Am I in the Twilight Zone?
Yeah. Let's see. There were some really interesting ones. Where is this? I can barely read this. Tracy, they look so blown out.
I could make them bigger 1 second.
Oh,
Uh,
what about the one where the guy gets swallowed in the random hole that forms?
yeah, Tracy, if you'll send me those again, because the screenshots just look so warped, like they're so blown and I can't read it. But
Yeah.
the one that you're talking about, there was like a sinkhole that happens in underneath one bedroom in this house, and the brother heard all this commotion or whatever, ran to his brother's room, opened the bedroom door, and there was holy shit, did you
You
hear
have
that?
a fucking sinkhole happening right now
Girl,
in your house?
I was like, oh my God, it's happening to me. No, and there was a hole in the ground, and their brother had fallen into everything in the room. The floor had just caved in
Yeah.
on top of their brother, and so the other brother jumped down and was like digging through, could hear his brother calling out for him, but they could not get to him. And unfortunately, he died, and they never found the body.
I just feel like that's so weird, but I've never seen a sinkhole, so I don't know how it looks.
Girl, sinkholes are crazy. And what's crazy even more is Florida is sinkhole city, bitch.
I can imagine.
Like Central Florida. Did you know that Disney is built over a bunch of fucking sinkholes? Because
Gag.
it was all that land that Walt Disney, when he bought all that land, was acres and acres and acres of swamp. So it was all like marshland, and
Yeah.
they drained it, and then they built Disney on top. So there's sinkholes all over. I think they even closed one of their old parks because of that.
Gag.
Yeah,
I had no idea that.
yeah. Crazy, crazy, crazy shit.
And I guess that he keeps saying that it keeps happening or he had to relive it. What was the rest of the conversation?
I didn't read the rest of it. I just thought that the actual death was interesting.
I think it happened again and he had to relive it. It was just crazy.
Well, that's nuts. But
you
I do
imagine
know
leaving your
they demolished that entire house to fill in the sinkhole.
Yeah.
That's just crazy to me.
Girl, you better get that check.
Hello? I don't know what these other ones are.
Let's see.
What in the world?
Brandes from Germany was voluntarily stabbed repeatedly and then partly eaten by Armin Maiwes, who was later called the cannibal of Rottenburg. Brandes had answered an internet advertisement by Maiwes looking for someone for this purpose. Brandes explicitly stated in his will that he wished to be killed and eaten.
I saw this. It might have been on a TikTok. I actually saw this case. This is girl, this is real. Like somebody there's like I guess on the dark web, there was this website where cannibals would go on there and like have conversations, and they would try to find victims and all this kind of stuff. But this one cannibal like put out an ad, and this guy answered to it and allowed the other guy to fucking fillet him and eat him, bitch. Can you imagine?
Girl, that is just so weird.
That is insane.
Could you imagine? Fucking no, ma'am.
Girl, there's no coming back from that, girl. You are dead. You are
Right,
somebody
you have a fantasy that is
potato
lived
soup,
out
honey.
one time. You don't get to relive this fantasy like a video game, bitch.
Girl, you are mutton pie, bitch. They're going to eat dinner, sweetie. Girl,
I'm gagged.
that is insane. Oh no.
It says right here, another one.
Tell me.
Isaiah, a Kenyan student living in Cranbrook, British Columbia, Canada, was killed when a helicopter crashed on top of him as he walked along a residential street. Can you
Girl,
imagine just walking down a residential street and a fucking helicopter flies at you?
girl, it doesn't fly at you, it fucking lands on you, bitch, like the Wicked Witch of the West, honey. Girl.
And then you got to worry about that motherfucking blade breaking off and flying at the people in the neighborhood.
Girl, one thing I will say, if that happened, he probably died instantly. Like that was
period.
at least there was that. At least you didn't have to like endure a bunch of stuff. Like that is crazy.
The one thing I will say is I couldn't imagine one of the blades flying at somebody in the neighborhood and just
Uh,
Final
I can't
Destination.
remember the name. There was another really crazy death, and we're gonna try to do these each podcast episode because I just think these are interesting. I love murder mystery, and some of these aren't murder. Most of these, they're just
Or consent.
yeah, they're just really
consent.
strange deaths. I remember reading about one that was a jockey, like he raced horses like on horseback,
Mm.
and he like had a heart attack or an embolism while he was riding his horse, died on
An aneurysm?
an aneurysm or something like that.
An embolism.
He an ambulance. He had an ambulance, bitch. He died on the horse, and the horse kept going and won the race. Still,
Gag. I wonder who got the money.
I probably so. I don't know if jockeys own their own horse, but it's probably a company or
In
like
Louisville, I think they'd own their horses.
yeah. I don't know. I guess maybe his like wife or son or daughter or parent,
Gaggy.
family, somebody inherited it. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. This one here, it says Ronald McClagish died after being trapped inside a cupboard for a week, bitch.
And what?
Oh, no, my cupboard. A cupboard. Sorry, I said cupboard.
You
She
dyslexic bitch. I can say that because I am dyslexic.
He got trapped inside of a cupboard for a week. A wardrobe in the bedroom outside had fallen over, trapping him inside. In an effort to free himself, McClagish accidentally wrenched a water pipe from the wall. In the wall, and the water gushing from the pipe eventually caused his death from bronchitis.
Oh my gosh.
Girl,
What?
talk about the worst luck.
You die from bronchitis?
Girl, she had got bronchitis.
Girl, you got trapped in a wardrobe, bitch. This was not Narnia, honey. There was no
He didn't have
magic.
no shoes or nothing, honey. He had got bronchitis.
Trapped in a wardrobe, trying to get out. You break a pipe. You get soaking wet and freeze, and then get bronchitis and die. Girl, not from starvation, not from drowning,
Not being stuck in there and dying of starvation.
No, you got sick and died, bitch, in a wardrobe, bitch.
Talk about all the worst things that could happen to you all at once.
Girl, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, honey, all in one.
You know that bitch had to do something wrong to somebody to get that kind of
Girl, cursed, sweetie, cursed. There was another crazy death. I was just thinking of it. Oh my gosh, I can't think of what it was. I just thought about it. What was it?
We were just talking about the cupboard, then we were talking about the horse.
Yeah, the cupboard. I don't remember what it was. I'll think about it. But there are a lot of crazy deaths, ways that people have died.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I just find it so interesting.
It's very Final Destination.
Girl, very Final Destination. How would you like if you had a weird way to die, how would you want to die?
I wouldn't want to die of drowning. That's my worst fear.
Oh,
And also dying of falling. Because
no, I would rather that.
well, the thing is if you fall, you better hope you fucking die. Because if you fall and you live and you break every bone in your body and nobody finds you, you have to sit there and wait to die.
Oh yeah, that's awful.
That's worse.
I would not want to die from being stabbed. I would not want to die from being attacked by an animal, like a shark or a bear or a cougar or something.
Have you ever seen that movie? I think we were gonna watch it when you were staying at my house a couple weeks ago. It's where they get stuck on the what are those things called when you go skiing? They take you on.
Yeah. I forgot what that was called. Yeah.
But the there was like four people they get stuck. It's obviously a movie, but I think it might be based on like light factual events. But like these people get stuck on the skiing ride.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
had did something prior to where like no one knew what they were doing, but the bride got shut off while they were on it, and it was like a Thursday, and it was off until Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then like I think it was back on Monday.
It closed, yeah.
They got frostbite. Girl, some of them had tried to jump off, landed, like I said, they jumped, broke every bone in their body, and then wolves ate them alive. Girl, could you imagine?
My cat is trying to eat these cords. Stop it. Why are you being so bad? No, I can't imagine. That would be awful, girl.
No.
Awful.
Girl.
So crazy.
Anyways, this was fun. I like talking about these crazy deaths. I mean, it obviously I don't want to like talk about in a way where I don't know. I just feel like it's interesting, but it's also sad.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely talking about it as something interesting, not to be morbid or anything like that. I just think it's so interesting. But what a crazy ride of an episode today.
Yeah, we went from like here, we went up to like Mount Everest, then we came down to Satan's level, then we went to ground level, we went into a pothole that is endless.
And then we have a crazy cat who's trying to like eat my thumb off.
Right, good times.
On medication. Anyway, I had fun with you. We will have some more guests sometime soon, but I'm enjoying us just doing these.
Yeah, I actually just spoke with, I'm not sure if you know who she is, but she just confirmed. So, if y'all are looking forward to the next podcast, we have a girl named Roz Hernandez. She's a comedian. She's done things with Alaska and a couple other people, but she is really funny. She's a trans woman who speaks to ghosts. So I think she's going to be super fun to have on the
Gosh,
podcast.
I can't wait. And I can't wait to talk to her about some crazy deaths.
Yeah, she's so funny and like you're going to love her. I can't wait to have her on.
It's so good. Well, thanks everybody for listening in. And until next time, we'll see you next week.
Bye.